We've already discussed the two main selections of the two big races on the show itself, but let's talk about the 10-17 at Belmont Park. This is the Joe Hirsch Turf Classic Invitational Stakes. Let's talk about one or two in this race. Well, I won't talk about your selection first, because you thought I was going to. So what I'll do is I'll talk about a horse that was trained over here, called Slumber. Do we rate his chances, and who was it formerly trained by, and what's he doing in America?
Yeah, I mean, Slumber, a Juddmonte-owned, former Charlie Hill-trained colt that basically run at Epsom, ran some really decent contests over here, listed contests at Newmarket, etc. Went over for the Hollywood Derby in 2011, fourth in that contest, but has only had two runs since, one in 2012 and one this year. Has won them both.
And we don't know why, do we? Because we've both done some research. You
Yeah.
certainly researched it. It seems to run once a year, but obviously this will be the second run of the year, but
Yeah.
it sort of goes missing for a year or so.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be good enough to run the Grade 1 here. I mean, he's got all the credentials to be well up there. It's obviously a 1 mile, 4 furlong turf contest here. If he can improve again off his one start this season, then he's going to be bang there.
Let's talk about another horse, well, a couple of horses, Big Blue Kitten, first of all. This has a Breeders' Cup entrant, right?
Yeah, got a Breeders' Cup entry. It's in the form of its life, to be honest. It's coming on into this off 2 victories in the Sword Dancer and the United Nations Turf, which has the hallmarks of any Breeders' Cup turf champion, really. You need to win those kind of races going into the Breeders' Cup. Ken Ramsey owned, Kitten's Joy sired. I mean, there's no better sire on turf over there at the moment than Kitten's Joy, and this colt is perfectly advertising those.
There is one you like in this race, Natello, not Nutella, Natello.
Yeah.
Tell us why.
Yeah, he was third in the Prix de Jockey Club last season. Had some really decent horses behind him, such as Gregorian, who's obviously gone on and won some really decent contests over here. He's having his second run over in America. His first run, technically, for Graham Motion of Animal Kingdom fame. If he can improve off of his one start so far in America, which was a third behind Big Blue Kitten, then he's going to be right there, and at a big price as well.
There's an interesting one here, not because I don't think you fancy it, but tell us about Little Mike.
Yeah, Little Mike is the reigning Breeders' Cup turf champion. Went over to Dubai to run in the one of the main races there. He's come back. He's not been great, to be honest. His form figures are 8, 11, 4 and 6, and they're in races that you expect him to be winning, really.
Is it because maybe the horse has just now had enough kind of thing?
He had a hard season last year. He's won the Arlington Million and the Breeders' Cup turf and just kept on plugging. He's not really been there this year.
So your selection at pretty good odds is
Natello.
Let's talk about one or two of the other races. I mean, you've got any other selections in the 9-13? I think you've gone. I don't know if you have, but Bahamian Squill, was that one?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a chance really on Bahamian Squill. He's coming into this with a really classy victory in the Smile Sprint at the Calder Racecourse. In that he beat the reigning Breeders' Cup Sprint champion Triniberg, Jackson Ben, Justin Phillip. I mean, these are all respectable foes really for him to beat, and he beat them convincingly. He's coming into this with a reasonable pace set up here. There's a lot of pace on early on. He's going to be coming.
Where's the pace
quite
likely
late.
to come from?
We're looking at possibly Strapping Groom. He's going to be right up there. The Lumber Guy, who won this race last year, and obviously from Private Zone, who's drawn right on the wide outside there, which is perfect for him. He needs to be out there free and running.
Now, obviously over here you get the inside draw, which is favoured. You've mentioned there the outside draw.
Literally because the horse needs to lead. He's going to get a clear run up to the first bend there.
And do you know, does the bend come quite quickly?
Reasonably quick at Belmont, yeah. I mean, you're looking after about a furlong or so and you're taking the first bend. So it's quite crucial that you need to be up there or positioned quite nicely before that first bend.
So your selection in the 9-13 for the
will be Bahamian Squall.
Let's have a quick review of the 9:45, which is the Flower Bowl.
Yep.
What's your selection in that?
I am going for Laughing in this, purely because the horse seems to have come on leaps and bounds. He's an ex-Charles O'Brien trained horse. He likes to lead. He's been quite hard to pass this year. She's been quite hard to pass, sorry. In the last race in Saratoga, she was there, challenged on the last turn, and just kept on plugging, kept on finding, and that's exactly the kind of attitude you need from a filly or mare in these kind of races. Traditionally, this race is a haven for European kind of horses. You had Narain, Stasalita, Ave, have all won it, and Laughing fits that mould perfectly.
Okay, that's very much it. Just very quickly, wrapping up the two races that we've not covered in this short segment. You'll see more of that on the BetRacingNation. the other two, the first and the last races?
Yeah, Princess of Silmar in the Beldam, and Palace Malice in the Gold Cup.
Okay, that is it. That's BetRacing Nation YouTube channel covering the 5 group races at Belmont Park.